Yeah, today we're going to talk about the tax system, the new tax system in Nigeria that came into effect on the 1st of January 2026. It's quite unclear what the objective is, if it's to continually plunge Nigeria into suffering, because basically we've had the removal of subsidy that has led to increment in the in energy, fuel consumption. We've had a hike in the electricity tariff, and now these reforms in the tax law. Now, here's the thing: KPMG, a renowned audit firm, has put out a statement with respect to the new tax law. And the statement is not a good one because it's more or less like indicts the law. It brings out very silent issues or fundamental issues that are wrong with the law. Let me just read what they said. They said the Nigerian new tax law has inherent errors in them, inconsistencies, gaps, and of course omissions. So they are saying that if nothing is done about what we have here in the law, it could spell problems, all kinds of problems, because here's a law that is more or less like taxing. You could actually end up taxing capital of a business could get taxed, because we know that there are all kinds of complexities surrounding businesses that purchase raw materials, and how those raw materials are being affected by inflation, for instance, and businesses that are import dependent. Nigeria is an import dependent country. Everything comes from outside, and there's a lot of demand for foreign exchange. We can't take that away. And because of that demand, there is this issue of the official rate and the parallel market FX rates. And because of that differential, the differential can actually lead in the wipeout of any profit that accrues to that business. And so if there's no profit, what are you going to tax? But the law is saying that you should still tax them, because the law doesn't take into cognizance the parallel market rates. All it considers is the official rate. So what happens when you get all your FX from the black market, and the law is still going to look at that as if you're getting from the official, the rates being put out by the CBN government. So a lot of unclear aspects as it pertains to rules in this law that could lead to disagreements. A lot of issues that borders on how the laws or how these rules are being interpreted, and the cost to the average small and medium enterprise owner or business. The cost. What I mean by the cost, I mean like most businesses don't have an elaborate tax team, and so they might have to go out and get a consultant to help them out, to file their taxes, to be there while their books are being audited, to look at the previous assessments of taxes filed. So all these things are actually going to cost a lot of money in terms of what the business incurs. So why should it be this difficult? Are we supposed to, continue to experience a tough environment economically like we are currently experiencing in Nigeria? I've already spelled out our energy sectors the foreign exchange, and even electricity. And there's never an ending to these things. KPMG is saying that many of those interpretations can actually lead to disputes. Of course, if a business is penalized for what they consider to be wrong applications of the rule, they are going to challenge it, and it's going to take efforts and, of course, resources, money, and time. So, other things that could actually happen is that there's going to be capital flight, because no investor wants to be in an environment whereby his business will not be given the chance to strive, or his business is going to be overtaxed, or the tax rules that apply to his business are uncertain, are unclear. Okay, so in a nutshell, it's going to reduce the attractiveness of Nigeria to foreign investors. So that's exactly what the tax system is going to do, and this is what KPMG has set out to raise its hands. And it's amazing what the government put out in terms of trying to counteract the statement from KPMG that probably KPMG do not understand the objective of the tax law as being designed. They are actually saying that yes, many of those things they consider to be problematic are actually things that were done intentionally. That is the stand of the government. So are you saying that you intentionally want to, put people into difficulties, and you're intentionally not putting out clear, making the rules to be unclear and uncertain, so that, and that, that's what the government is saying, that they want to make the rules unclear and uncertain for the average business or business owners. It affects SMEs. That's what the government is saying in a nutshell. So they are saying that because they want to get people to be more compliant. I don't know why it has to be that way, and there's no guideline to help anyone to be able to properly interpret these rules in order not to be on the wrong side of the law, more or less. So these are critical issues that needs to be addressed. I understand that KPMG actually paid a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Revenue Service to try to see how they can get more clarity to some of the things that is being said they misunderstood. So that they do not be seen as confrontational. So, but as it stands, I don't think anything actually came out from that meeting. And there's this rumor that right now that probably the tax system has actually been, suspended or put on hold. That is not true. That is a rumor. I think that basically things should in that law should be modified to be able to put a human face on it, so that Nigerians, if it's something that is going to enable the economic environment to be able to generate enough revenue that revenues can actually be used in the development of the country, I don't think Nigerians are going to be opposed to doing that. Nigerians are very supportive of their government, and everything the government wants to achieve, they get behind them. So doing this to the citizenry by putting out tax law rules that are unclear and will create disagreements, will not take into cognizance how inflation can actually be adjustable, so that businesses can not suffer losses. Okay, I think it's something that has to be taken seriously and amended. I don't know. This is just what I wanted to put out here today. Let us